welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited. I actually don't think I've been nervous for a podcast interview for so long. And I shouldn't say I'm nervous now because I'm in her company and she's so divine. But today's guest has been on my dream list for a very long time because I'm just so obsessed with the way she shows up online so authentically. And she's one of those women that you just watch and you literally feel like you're already friends with her. And then I have these moments where I'm like, Maddie, she doesn't know who you are yet. But genuinely feel like she's a friend because she's just so authentic in the way she shows up online. She's an author, a mother, a podcaster herself, and has built a phenomenal community alongside one of her best friends. I'm very excited to welcome Ellidy Pullen to Magnetic with Madelyn. Hello.
Oh, Maddie, thank you so much for having me. And you just gave me so many compliments. And I'm like, wow, thank you. Like the nicest thing I think you can be, like my favorite thing about what you just said is you already feel like you're my friend and we haven't even met. And that's my favorite. Like genuinely, I think it might have been yesterday or the day before I was in the shops and this chick came up and goes, Ellidy. And I gave her a hug because I just assumed she was my fucking friend. Like, I don't know, we not saying I don't recognize my friends, but like she was just so confident when she said hi. And so like that I just went to hug her and I was like, hey girl, how are you? And she's like, oh, no, you don't even know me. I just realized you don't know me. And I've just said hi, like we're best friends. And I'm like, don't worry, I honestly do the same thing. Like I was going to give you a hug, so it's normal.
I love that though, because it's like,
I love it.
it is like, we were chatting before we actually went online with the girls here and I was like, it's funny to be in this world now where it's like people genuinely, you either form friendships over line with people you've never met before, or you do watch people's lives and you get invested in the people that you follow. So the fact that you can react like that to people, which I'm sure you get a lot being here on the Gold Coast and people seeing you in your everyday life, but the way that you can react in that way, I just think is so beautiful and speaks even more of your authenticity and realness. So yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to dive in today. I've recently rebranded the podcast to Magnetic with Madelyn, and I just think you are incredibly magnetic, and a lot of it is obviously through your authenticity and I think just the way that you go about your life. So I want to dive into a bit of that today. Another big topic we do talk about is self-identity and self-concept. And you've obviously, there's obviously some amazing things happening in your life, but you had a very profound loss 5 years ago now, is it?
Yeah.
Losing your beautiful partner, Chump?
We're coming up to 6 years without Chump. So he passed away on the 8th of July, 2020.
Crazy.
So, yeah, crazy to think it's been 6 years. I was just voice noting his sister this morning and I'm like, honestly, I don't know if it will ever feel real. Like these things just, like, it doesn't not feel real, but it just kind of feels like, it's just surreal. It's just like kind of weird that happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just, sometimes I just think he's still overseas snowboarding. And I hate that I still hop on podcasts 6 years later and say that because like, I honestly have said that for 6 years, but it is just so, sometimes those big events like that it just hasn't clocked to me yet. Like I've grieved and I do grieve and I always go up and down in my moods and stuff and I talk about him all the time, but I'm always just like a bit like, I just can't even believe he's not here.
Yeah.
What?
And I think like, you obviously had a lot of eyeballs on you when all of that happened. Like prior to Chump passing, I hadn't followed you online, but there was such a huge community around you guys. So it was kind of like really shared publicly and you became in the public eye very quickly. How did you like, I don't know, even navigate or juggle that weight of like something tragic, so tragic happening, but then also having all of these eyeballs and people on you?
It is actually so funny. It's like now that it's been so many years, I can really sit here and like look back at that time and go, wow, I really didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I was in a state of fucking shock.
Yeah.
And just like, what the hell is life? And yeah, B, there was so many eyeballs and I was kind of just being so, like I was in this vortex where I didn't really realize that, like, I mean, I've got imposter syndrome badly. I don't think that anyone cares about me or, I was like, oh, people are watching me. But yes, obviously Chump's passed away and this is this big riffraff right now. And I'm just doing what I would usually do. I'm sharing my grief online and I'm saying how I really feel. My friends are here. We're all crying together. We're having a drink together. We're dancing together. We're screaming his name. We're going to waterfalls and like just doing Chumpy things and like, screaming at the rooftops, just doing like outwardly things in his honor or just, like just doing fun stuff to get through each day. Because every day back then was like climbing Mount Everest. grief was hard and it was a slog. And I was in this like phase of almost like delusion, really foggy, like
Mm.
so vague. I just didn't know what was real and what wasn't. And my friends and my family just like we just kept going together. And I don't know, we are freaks. Me and my friends are
Yeah.
absolute weirdos. We just love being weirdos together, having a good time, laughing, crying, screaming, singing, whatever we're doing. And I was just super, I guess, public about my life and, you know, how I was grieving and what we were getting up to and sharing everything about his life and our life together. Like, he's gone, look at these amazing photos of him. Look at this letter that he wrote me this time and blah, blah, like really beautiful things that helped other people grieving at
Yeah.
the time, like other
Mhm.
widows that had just also lost their loved ones over in the UK or
Mm.
whatever, kind of would catch on. They'd message me and we'd, connect on that. And I think it was helpful for other grievers to see, look, this chick's really going through it as well.
Yeah.
And this is how she's managing or whatever. And I was lucky to
Yes.
have people around me. I know a lot of people grieve alone.
Yeah.
All was just like, none of that was obviously planned. It's not like Chumpy passed away in some like
Plenty. Yeah, no.
media content manager, creator, whatever they
Yeah.
call 'em. Some management company came up to me and was like, "So what we're gonna do is," we're like, no, obviously none of that. I was just doing what I normally do. I used to,
Sharing it and
yeah. When Chump was alive, I would do modeling and things like that,
yeah.
and like had little side gigs. Like what I do now is a lot more,
Yes.
but my profile was always on public.
Yes. So
That's
you were
not like
always kind of sharing your life behind the scenes, and then
yes.
everyone was just, yeah, kind of your, I guess, audience online grew so quick.
It
Like,
was hectic,
yeah,
and like I always just thought, and I do still think this, everyone was just here with me to celebrate his life with me. And
yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like looking at numbers, caring about that shit at all. Like that's the last kind of thing that I would do. But just enjoying talking about grief with strangers on the internet and having a place to like release.
Yes.
Like it really was. I was writing so much. I'd write these lengthy captions and I felt like, showing people more of him or, him playing guitar with the dog and just like sharing parts of him made me feel better. Like he's gone now. We won't be able to get any new memories with him, but hey, let's enjoy the old ones. And so many people just freaking loved that.
Love.
So I just thought how amazing that so many more people now know about Chumpy
Yes.
and are like loving watching this stuff of him. And they would cry for me and write me these messages like, obviously that sounds bad because I don't want to upset other people, but they were dead set crying for me and carrying such a weight
Mm.
for me. And sometimes it did, like, almost like I was like, other people are carrying me through
Yeah,
this,
like
like
you felt like,
strangers.
yeah, absolutely. Which is so amazing though about the online world and the online community. Like it can come from, like people thinking it's a darker place or a bad
Yeah.
place or it's dangerous. But then you hear these stories, what you've done for other women, people grieving, what you've also done. And
Yeah.
like, I've never experienced that level of loss, but what I took from it and seeing you share so much about Chump is like your level of love and devotion to each other. I'm like,
I know.
wow, like even as, another female seeing that and that, connection, that
Mm.
depth, that just like I would do anything for you. And reading your beautiful book, Heartstrong, my mum bought me that for Christmas a few years ago. And like honestly, I would just like cried reading it of just like that love that you two had for each other. So I feel like it had so many layers as well of why people were so drawn to you and attracted to you
Yeah.
through that time. I really want to touch on the vulnerability side because you and Chloe have obviously just been so, I would say, generous in your vulnerability and the level of like care you take with sharing your personal lives and really vulnerable stuff. Was that ever a conscious decision or was it just something that you two are like, you share in your friendship group so you're like, let's help other people or it just,
Yeah. So the podcast started at just a really pivotal time for us. Like I'd just fallen pregnant with Chumpy's baby and she was just having like miscarriages, like
mm,
miscarriage after miscarriage kind of thing. So
crazy.
weirdly, we started a fucking podcast in the depths of our like
Great.
despair.
Yeah.
And we would just hop on and like she would have just done a pregnancy test and it's negative, or she might have just got a result back from the doctor and they were like, sorry, you lost it or something. And we'd just be like hugging each other, crying, talking about it. Like, but
Mm,
not just going, not reading from a script, going, so like, Chloe just had a miscarriage today. How do you feel, Chloe? No.
yeah.
Just fucking sitting there going like, oh, like I just really like just so raw, so emotional, so honest stuff that people are not saying out loud or definitely not saying on like a podcast.
Mm.
Like I'd just be planning Chumpy's funeral at the age of 28, being like, I thought we were planning a wedding, and just talking about that as like just like brain farting it out on,
Yeah.
you know, stuff that we probably wouldn't do now, because stuff we were saying is probably like you could get cancelled for that
Yeah.
being like it was hectic back then.
Mm.
And we didn't care. We had nothing to lose. I mean, we just hopped on and thought, well, two best friends chatting in a room and being raw and being vulnerable. I guess that caught so much traction. People listened. They were like, this isn't bullshit. This isn't fake. These girls are going through it and they're sharing it. And you wouldn't believe how many other people just lost their mum or lost someone, or they've had a miscarriage, or they've lost their baby, or like, you know, so many people are going through shit silently. So the amount of people that are like, oh, I just feel like I'm sitting in the back seat and you two are in the front of the car and we're all driving together and I'm listening to you chat, and it's just the most therapeutic thing ever. And that, going from literally doing this podcast as something to just fucking do to get our emotions out, thinking nobody in the world would listen to this bullshit, this garbage. Like, we did not think anyone would listen to us, for it to blow up like that. Yeah.
Same.
We're just so glad that it actually helps people.
Yes. Yeah. But you can feel that and you can see that in you too, like that you genuinely, like there's no in it for me. It's like, how do we just share to make people feel less alone and to
Yeah.
feel, and I think that that's the beautiful and unique thing that you two like bring to the world, is that level of like vulnerability, realness, rawness, because it's easy to look at people's lives and think they've got it all figured out. And you know, on the outside, it's like you've got this beautiful community of friends, the best, you know,
Yeah.
supportive friends. You have so much fun, a beautiful daughter. Like, it could be so easy to just think, oh, she's got it, like, got it all together. But you've also been through this profound grief and loss that not many people will ever experience.
Yeah, it is this world where you're like, I mean, I think things are getting a little bit more raw and relatable, and people are being a
I
bit
feel like we're
real
going
on
back
it.
to it a bit more.
I
Yeah, I
think
feel
so,
like
and I
we had a few
hope,
curated years and now it's going
yes.
back a bit more.
Yes, and like, yeah, you're just like, you could look at someone's page and then you meet them and it's two completely different things.
Yes.
Like, they might be going through something hectic or be a really interesting person, but you're not fucking seeing that, because all you're seeing is
Yeah.
really polished shit.
Mm.
And now I definitely feel like people are realizing that it's actually so interesting to be raw and vulnerable, and that's what people want to see, the truth.
100%. I'd love to talk about just like your personal shifts in, you know, when Chump was still here, who you kind of like were as a person from like self-identity. And,
Mm.
you know, we're always evolving as humans. It's a natural process. But you've gone from, you know, being with Chump, love of your life, to now being a mum, businesswoman. Like, you seem like you're literally one of the busiest humans
Mm.
with like brand collaborations. You're doing fashion labels, your own business for a Future Fur. How has your, like, self-identity shifted?
Self-identity is a funny one. I'm still like, who am I? What the hell is this? Why do people listen to me? Why are people even following me?
Okay.
Like, imposter syndrome is massive.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh, all like crazy. Which, yeah, I wish it would go away, because Chloe's always like, of course people are going to buy tickets to see our show, and I'm like, how embarrassing! Why would they do that? And I am so embarrassed to post this thing being like, hey guys, we're doing a tour, because like, I just think everyone's going to look at it and go, what the fuck do you think you're doing touring? Like, who wants to listen to you? That's what I think.
So what's going on in your head in those, I wanna get into this a little bit because I feel
Oh,
like people will find this so fascinating, because it's like, I would never have imagined that you
no,
would have that level of imposter
I
syndrome.
have it so bad. Like, I mean, I think you've been trying to get me on this podcast for ages. I'm like, oh, surely she'll just stop trying to, because I'm pretty done
Here I
doing
am.
podcasts. Yeah. And I'm pretty done doing podcasts right now. But you kept on trying, like, you wanted me so bad. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, I can't believe she wants me that bad, like, dead set.
Do you know what? It's
But
so funny because people always say, "How do you get your guest?" And I'm like, "I just don't take no for an answer." It's just not
oh
right
my
now. So I'm like, just
God.
keep going.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Why me? Like, why do you actually, yeah, want me?" But then I've obviously been on heaps of podcasts, and then some of them will be like, "That was the best, most listened to one, da, da, da." Yeah, and I'm like, "No, like, did you put money behind that fucking reel and make it an ad or something? Because why do people listen to it? Like, I just don't believe it." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Why? I don't know why anyone wants to hear from me."
So even now with
Yeah,
everything that you have done, like selling the book, the tours, your collabs with Anna Pally, launching Future Fur, like you still don't like
I
see
mean,
it, or like
I'm pretty proud of the, like, the stuff I design or the
Yeah.
products I bring out and
Okay.
stuff. Like, I love that. I live and breathe it. Like, the blankets are fucking divine.
Oh,
Like,
they
when
look
you touch them,
so beautiful.
they're amazing, and I'm proud of them. But yeah,
Yes.
I just feel like I'm the business owner. I don't feel like I'm this big, like, freaking entrepreneur, bloody face of the like, I don't know. I just don't like that. Honestly, hasn't changed for me, and I fucking wish it would. Like, I
You
wish
do?
it
Yeah,
would,
okay.
so I can just be a bit more confident and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, like when Chump was alive, I have grown up so much. Like, he was like, yes, my partner, my everything, but almost dad as well. Like, he did all the big boy things for me, like all the, you know, manage all of our home loan kind of crap, like all that
Yes.
adulting kind of thing.
Totally.
And then all of a sudden, obviously, I had to really put my big boy boots on and do that stuff. So I've gotten really good at, I mean, I've actually gotten pretty shit at it, but like, just like, yeah, doing all the
Taking
like,
care of that, like, life.
yes,
Yes.
being the boss of the house.
Yes.
Having a baby, of course, becoming a mum, like, changes you so
much.
so
doesn't it?
much. And it's been like nearly 6 years. So I've obviously changed a lot, and I've grown, and what I'm into now is different. Like, I don't know, just it's hard to explain, but I look back at that girl and I feel like a different person. But then my best friends who have been around me through school or through everything, and they're really close with Chumpy too, like Lauren, she always says like, "No, you haven't changed a bit. You are the same like fucking little freak show that you're." And I'm like, I love that. And that's the biggest compliment as well, because as much as there's this attention and people caring about your journey and following you for yeah, either the right or the wrong reasons or whatever, I never want to change. I never want to be like, "Oh, I'm so cool. Look at like that." Obviously, I would never think that, but like I see people do that. They get a few followers on a fucking app called
totally.
Instagram, and they're like, think they're ripping, or that changes their personality, or they don't,
Yeah.
you know, people,
It does
are,
turn some people crazy. Like, it's like they become a different person, or like show up different in their friendships, or
yeah. And so like, I feel like such a bigger person, or a bit like, I've evolved a lot. I've changed. I feel like she was a little girl, and now I'm a big girl now, big
Yeah.
mum, woman, whatever. And she's like, "Nah, you're still the exact same. You haven't changed. Your personality hasn't changed." And heaps of our friends, like all of our friends, hasn't changed. And, and I love that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that made me feel really good coming from her.
That's so good. And yeah, it would be like such a interesting thing to like, have someone that's so important to you not here, and you're just like naturally evolving. You've become a mum, you've become a business owner, you've like got all of these new endeavors. So I'm sure that would be a beautiful like complimental thing to just hear, that it's like they still just see that.
Yes, and that's the thing that makes me the happiest, and then also, and on the flip side, also the saddest, because I'm like, I know I was supposed to do this with Chumpy alongside me, and I know he can, if you want to get woo-woo, of course he's looking down. He can see me being a mum and doing all the things and blah, 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 and I hope he's proud of me. But I'm like, it's just so weird that, yeah, I would have changed and evolved with him, and he would have changed so much too, and yeah, it's just, I mean, that's bittersweet always. There's always
Totally, I
those
could
bittersweet
imagine,
things where
yeah.
you're like, wow, look what I've done, and I've grown, and I always know that he's guided me. I always think he's like paved a bunch of the stuff that I've done, for me, and made these opportunities happen. And then I'm also like, oh, I wish you were here to see it.
Yeah. Let's get a bit woo-woo, because
Yeah.
let's do it. I
Go for
have
it.
loved some of your more woo chats where you'll have explored a little bit with the spiritual side,
Yes.
through some of your like psychic readings and stuff. How does Chump kind of show up for you day to day, during the week? Like, when are the kind of like signs and signals that you're like, yeah, that's him?
Oh, the cutest thing happened the other day. This was just like, this was Minnie and Chumpy connecting, and she connects so hard with him, and it's just so cute. Like, she's got this obsession with her daddy, Chumpy, her daddy in the sky. Like, yeah, the stuff she's saying lately is really cute. Like, yesterday we're at sushi, and she's like, "So daddy's like died, but he'll come back." And I'm like, no, he won't. Like, so that's a chat that we're having a lot, where I'm like, she gets it, but she's just like always really curious. Like, she's always wondering, like, so he was here and he's not, and like, yeah. So we have that chat a lot, but she's fascinated by it. But then she's like, but it's gonna be okay, because I've got Uncle Bro, I got fish, I got broccoli, and like, so she's like so
Understands.
abundant in her like father figures, and feels so like she's got these people. But she knows that she is missing this fucking profound human that is Chumpy. And she actually genuinely misses him. Like, she'll randomly be like, I really miss him. And I'm like, fuck, you actually didn't even meet him. and you miss him. It's actually adorable. So the other day, this was actually really cute. And like this is kind of a bit more spiritual. So she was playing with a shell. I wasn't even there. It was with Chloe's nanny. Nanny had Bobby and Minnie. So the three of them are playing. And yeah, Minnie's holding this shell. And the nanny's like, oh, Minnie, hold it up to your ear. You'll be able to hear the ocean. And she goes, no, 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 no. I'm speaking to my daddy on the phone. And she did. She holds the shell up to her ear and she walks away from the nanny and she's just like properly yapping like on the phone to Chumpy. She just does that. And
Good.
she's done that like 2 years ago with a shell, but if that's not really a ritual that I should, but I haven't kept up this shell phone chat to dad game thing. I have not done that at all. So
she just like intuitively
randomly, randomly to do that with, their nanny was just, and then me hearing about it like 2 weeks later, I was like, fuck, I love that. Like that is so cute. She's doing so much without me.
Yes.
I don't know. That's
but
just her finding dad.
Because you've like obviously instilled safety in her that like that is normal. You can do that. This is how we talk about dad. This is how we honor him. So like absolute credit to you. But I like just think kids are the most intuitively and spiritually connected. And it's just that unfortunately like a lot do get it squashed in them because is a bit woo or it's not normalized. And so when I lost my nan, my daughter had a really like deep connection with her from when she was 2.5 when she passed away. But she speaks about her like just random like, oh mum, I just wish I could go to Nana Sue's and go to the cubby house.
Oh
like
my gosh.
just random will be colouring and like lift my head. Yeah. And I was like, I just really believe when you're saying that then I'm like, I reckon it's this moment of them like literally physically visiting them and it's like they just can feel their presence and it's like they're so tapped into it in that moment that they're just here.
So cute.
Which I'm like, how amazing though as a kid to grow up feeling like that supported, like spiritually. Like imagine what she's going to be able to like do and achieve and the confidence that she's going to have. Like feeling like there is literally this like
guardian angel almost.
Like over her just like forever.
That's what I like. Insane. I love to think that too.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
And then I'm like, I hope just like, iPads and schools and everything, like obviously like you need education and we need to get on with life. But like, because you lose those senses as you get older, I'm like, oh, like I don't have any of them.
Yeah. How did you start to tap back in though to it? Like,
well, when someone dies, you're like just dying yourself. So you're just clutching onto anything. So I'd be going to all the mediums, all the psychics, all the clairvoyants, like all of them and all the healers, Reiki, kinesiology, just whatever the hell I could get whoever I could meet.
Yeah.
And just any signs, like I'd jump at all the signs. I mean, we did have some pretty insane signs. One day I was driving with Chumpy's dad and in the middle of this road, we pulled over and went back. There was just an axe sitting in the middle of this road and him and his dad like had this thing for axes. They both used to make axes, like weld their own axes in their garages. Chumpy had an axe tattoo on his ribs, like a huge one. And like they just loved this. The symbol of an axe was like very like persevere, strong Viking energy that he used. It was his like symbol, basically. So we just saw a random axe in the middle of the road. And it was on his birthday as well, which was fucking weird.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just stuff like that. And you're like, wow, you can't really make that up.
Yeah.
And it's like a physical thing. It's not like, oh, I saw that rainbow over there in the like.
Yes. No, it's like that's like,
we brought this axe
how could you like make that up? It's like literally an axe. Yes, on his birthday.
Yeah. Crazy stuff like that just going on. But it really is funny because I guess at the start, as I said, you're just clutching onto anything that gives you a bit of hope or just meaning, closure, if like, and now I find that I'm okay in my life. Like I've somewhat accepted that has happened.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not, still like, I've kind of like come to a place in my life where I'm not crying all the time and I'm not.
Like you're not clutching at things constantly, like clutching for faith all the time.
Yeah. I've finally come to a place in my life where the grief doesn't have a hold on me as much as it did. And I'm not just looking for signs and answers and stuff all the time. So like, I mean, which says I'm obviously in a better place. I'm moving forward with my life and I'm happy with where I'm at and I'm not so then I guess I'm not like as intuitive to those little signs and things that happen around you that you just, and then the other thing is my friends like the other day, you got to go see a psychic soon. It's been ages. And I'm like, You know what? I don't feel like I need to.
Mm.
I'm happy where I am right now. And like, yeah, I like sometimes it is good to go and talk to Chump and, have those medium sessions. But I don't know, yeah, she wanted me to do like a bit of a predicting the future kind of thing. I'm like, I don't wanna know. I don't like I'm okay right
Mm.
now. Whereas I used to just latch on to any of those things I could do because you just want any glimmer. You're just
Yes,
looking for any
totally.
glimmers out of your fucking
But I
sluggish
feel like
grief.
even you said at the start, like, I feel like, there's paths that he's paved that I'm like,
Yeah,
I just know that's him. And I feel like sometimes that's all it needs to be as well, is like that trust and that knowing in yourself. He's there. He's
I
guiding you. He's
completely
there with
agree.
Minnie. Like, he's got you. So it's like you probably don't need, like you say, those other levels right now because you're
That's
not in
it.
that.
At the start, you wanted to be told that and you wanted
Yes.
that validation.
Because it's that
And
faith. It's like that hope,
yeah,
that faith, that's something that you're like holding on to.
totally. And
Mm.
now I'm like, I just know. I
Yeah.
just know.
Which is
Yeah.
so
And
beautiful.
even if I do see a little sign, lately, and I just get this like almost like your blood runs cold for a minute, like you get goosebumps and you just like have this physical reaction. Just I'll be driving or whatever, and it'll be small, but something will happen where I go, yeah, I know, hi chump, like I know, I just know that was you. I won't even like. I will not tell anyone. I don't need to
That's it.
fucking
It's
go,
just a
oh,
moment for
like
you.
it's just something and you don't need to, because as soon as you start telling people, they're like, you reckon? Do you really reckon that? Like, it's like, no, you just have to sometimes know on your own and
Yeah.
just fucking be happy
That
about that
self-trust
moment.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you're very similar to me because I have met so many of my listeners now over the years, and I know there are just so many common threads between us. So one thing that I really value is obviously health and the way that we feed ourselves as a family, the food that we eat. But sometimes time just does not allow for me to prioritize that as much as I would like. And that is the honest truth. That is honestly the truth, that sometimes time is not on my side. So 2 hacks that have really helped me to stay a lot more true to this. Also make sure that there's always a really healthy, nourishing snack in the fridge for my kids are these 2 game changers. So the first one is making a batch of chia pudding every Sunday night. It is the easiest thing that you will do, and it will save you so much time, but also guarantee that you are having something really healthy and nourishing to feed yourself or your children. Super simple. All I do is chia seeds, roughly a cup to a cup and a half. I put them in a big jar or some form of glassware. And then I add roughly 1 litre of cocoa quench from Pure Harvest. So I choose Pure Harvest because it is good for you, it is clean, it's organic, there is no preservatives, additives, gums, nasties like a lot of the other BS on the supermarket shelves. So I just put both of those into a jar and I whisk them with a fork. You do really have to make sure you get the kind of clumps out, so give it a good whisk, and then it goes in the fridge and it literally sets like jelly. And then all you need to do is serve it with either coconut yogurt, muesli, some frozen raspberries. That's probably my go-to, and a scoop of collagen powder, and you've already got yourself a really nourishing bowl of goodness that is going to support your gut health and support your energy levels. And then for the kids, I literally just scoop out a few scoops of the chia pudding, put it in a container with some frozen raspberries, and I send them off to school and kinder with their little snack pack of chia pudding. If they're hungry after dinner, the only option for dessert is chia pudding, and honestly, they love it. They ask me for it all the time, and it is already ready to go in the fridge because I prep it every Sunday. And I say it lasts probably like 5 to 6 days. It never really lasts that long in my house, I won't lie. The second thing I love to do is actually to make my coffee the night before. One, this is a game changer for time, but also I really love eating breakfast before I have my coffee. So I brew the coffee the night before, just 1 shot. Then I add Pure Harvest unsweetened almond milk and a little bit of either their honey or their rice malt syrup. So both the rice malt syrup and the honey is found in a jar at your local Coles, Woolies or independent grocers, and a little bit of sweetener. Then first thing in the morning, I get it out. It's nice and chilled. I add 2 scoops of a really high quality collagen powder. Give her a little whisk and you have the most creamy, delicious, ready to go iced coffee. It is so good. You could obviously also do this with warm coffee if you want to add your honey or rice malt syrup, but it is so creamy and delicious and honestly takes me about 2 seconds in the morning because all I need to do is add the collagen and give her a whisk. So they are two ways that I'm really boosting my nutrition levels, but also making sure that I have stuff ready to go so that time is not the reason why I'm not nourishing and fueling my body. So make sure you give both of those easy little hacks a go. You can shop Pure Harvest full range of organic natural products at Coles, Woolworths, or your local independent grocer shop Australia-wide. I've been choosing Pure Harvest for over 7 years. They are family-owned, family-operated, the most beautiful team and family of people. I absolutely adore working with them, but I also just love what they stand for. They honestly are the cleanest ingredients that are good for you and will support your health. When you're going to choose non-dairy milks, please make sure you're choosing Pure Harvest. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring another episode of the podcast. And let's get back into the remainder of this episode. So you have a new partner now, which is very exciting. You seem so happy.
It's so weird.
How is that? You've shared a little bit that it was a big journey for you to get to the point of having a boyfriend publicly, but how does now that all kind of like, I don't know if fits in's the right word, or but like still honoring Chump and his presence and your love for him that you're always going to have, while also, forming this new relationship.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like, because I was 28 when Chump passed away. Of course, I wasn't going to be alone forever, but I just never could think of a world where I wasn't, like, where I was with someone else and not him. Like, it made me sick in the first few years when people would be like, come on, like, you got to get back out there. And I was like, I'm like, you're breaking my heart. I just can't believe you think that, it felt like cheating, like doing,
and it's like
the
people are
thought of
placing
that.
it on you
Yeah,
almost.
and it felt like a lot of pressure. Honestly, it was so, I just really, really, really struggled. And it wasn't until like 4 years or so. I mean, it shouldn't be about time at all, because like I've had friends that moved on way quicker, but then their grief was still really heavy because, they're still missing that person, but then they've got this, just there's no right or wrong, and you cannot judge. People still bloody will though. I still get messages from people being like, well, I moved on a bit fast, didn't you? And I'm like,
Really?
fuck, it took me 5 years, but okay. Like it just happened so naturally and slowly with Brock.
Yeah.
He's just so normal, so easy, so fun, so spontaneous. And it just like, we have heaps of mutual friends. I know his sisters. And it just like was this weird like merging of us. And we just got magnetic doll. Magnetic on the Magnetic podcast. But no, seriously, it just happened really organically. And as it was happening with him, I was taking it so slow. I hid him from like everyone for a year because I just wanted to fall in love with him first on my own before introducing him to like, all the beautiful strangers on social media. But I just didn't need their ideas or judgment or what they perceived or, what they thought or, I just wanted it to just be us. And Minnie, of course, I've got to value, like she comes first. So her forming a relationship with him was like,
Number one.
And that just happened really, really naturally. She just, she thought he was one of our friends, one of our uncles, and he's amazing with kids. So that was really special. And that made me fall in love with him again, even more. But it was in my head for like a year while I was just going like, is this going to work for me? This whole A, being in a relationship with anyone, and B, like, is he right for me? So I sussed that out for, like a year. And I really did have to have this whole like self-talk thing, and kind of like what we were talking about before. I have changed so much. Still the same person, still the same principles, still the same values, but like I think I struggled because he's so different to Chumpy. And I think I thought like, is this one of those lust things where like I'm just gonna freak out soon because like, you're just usually not my kind of person that I go for. Like I'm, and I don't even know how to put that, but they're just like chalk and cheese. They're very different people. But if like, and I'm so glad that is the way, because had I have gone out with like an athlete or a person that's way more like a more version-y person of Chumpy, that would be a bit more confronting for that person, for me as well. I think because people seem to they can't stop comparing. People are 24/7 like, always a bit different to Chumpy or blah, blah. So imagine if he was like him, then the comparisons would be Like,
Definitely.
you kinda can't compare these 2.
Really?
No,
So did
which is good.
which is amazing because that was actually
Yeah.
I was wanted to ask that more around, like, was it, like, his values that you drew to, that he had similar values, or were they similar person, but
Yeah.
they're just chalk
He's
and
just a
cheese?
real family. I mean, and so was Chump with that, like, family orientated, like, loves my daughter, loves, like, just a really easy, normal guy with just no weird red flaggy kind of things,
Yeah.
like, just gets his shit done, determined when it comes to work,
Mhm.
which I guess, like, if you put it down to it, Chumpy is really good like that. Actually, those things I mentioned, they're probably the same in, but it's more just like
They're, like, the
the
important things to you. They're the things that you
yes.
value in a person.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and so, like, now I can see why I was just loving Brock, and it was just working for me, but I was just like, I'm just used to this really manly, action-packed man, and,
Yeah.
like, I'm really like, you know, outdoorsy and crazy. Like, I don't know, I just couldn't really put it, but I just, like, I'm allowed to just accidentally fall in love with whoever.
100%.
It's like the head noise that gets in your head, and it's like, "Hang on, just let yourself fall in love and see how that feels."
Mm.
And then I ended up going, "Fuck, this has been the best surprise ever because, like, I just fucking love you, and so does my kid, and this is just working."
That is
And
amazing.
I think for so long, I don't think until now I would have been able to say that, like, publicly, like,
Mhm.
"I just love you," kind of thing, because I genuinely do feel so guilty because I am still and will always be, of course, still in love with Chum. Like, we didn't break up. He passed away, and he always has all of my heart, but my heart's grown and grown and grown. Like, Minnie's got all my heart too. Now Brock does too. They're all sharing it, and there's room for everyone. But, yeah, it is like a big, wild fucking, like, it is a head fuck.
Mm.
Like, sometimes I'll be like,
It's like totally like different way to put on it. But you know when you have your first kid, like you have Minnie,
yeah,
and it's like, how could you ever love another child? Like
oh,
I'm sure
mate,
Chloe and Fish are feeling it like with Bobby, like after
totally.
all that loss, they've finally had their baby. They're completely obsessed with her. They probably felt it after Minnie. How could we love anyone as much
Oh,
as Minnie? And now they've
exactly.
had Bobby and now they've had Andy. It's like you don't give, it's not like you're just holding this
No,
one bit of love and you're like, oh, little piece for you and a little piece.
yes.
It's like you just expand. Like the love just
We're not
expands
just looking
within you. And I
yes,
think,
it's not like one soulmate that we're gonna
no,
have.
and I
You can
think,
share it with your
yeah,
daughter, your friend, like, it's
100%.
just
And
yeah.
it's like we're allowed to have, I'm really big on like soul contracts and like people coming into your life
Yeah.
for to get really woo woo. But like, no, but I
Mhm.
mean, like people come into your life for a reason. But it's like that love. I actually heard the most beautiful quote from a relationship expert. I think it's Peter Crone or something. He's from
Oh,
the
yeah.
UK. But he said, you don't give your love when you fall in love with someone, a partner, or like you don't give your heart or your love to that person. You actually just fall in love with a version of yourself that you become with someone.
Oh,
And I was like, that shifted so much for me
I
because I was
love
like,
that.
that's like when you have a kid too. You're not like just giving your love to one kid. It's like your heart's just expanding and you love the version, like you love the mother in you that can nurture that kid and that can show up. I'm like, it's the
Oh,
same
I
in a
love it.
relationship. It's like you're actually just falling in love with
Yeah.
the version of you that Brock has met you at, who he obviously supports you, nurtures you, loves
Yeah.
Minnie deeply, fits into your, like lifestyle and life so well. So it's like yes, you love him, but it's like that level of you that you also love that's like, oh,
That is so interesting and so, 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 so true.
isn't it? And I
I
know when
love
I
that.
saw that, I was like, oh wow, that just like
Yeah.
shifted so much. And I feel like that is, I guess, that permission or that moment of like, wow, we can love more than just one
Yes, and
person.
like, of course, you have many like, I have a version of myself that I am, like, with Minnie, and then
Yes.
with Brock, and then with every single one of my friends, and it's the way that you feel around that person,
Yes.
and when you leave that person, you're like, "Fuck, that was a really good interaction." That's when you know you really like
Loved.
someone or, and that's because you're feeling good around them and you're liking the version of
Exactly.
you, so what you're saying is really fucking cool. I'm into that.
Yeah, I know. When I saw
I
it, I
love
was like,
it.
I'm taking that and I'll quote you, but I'm running with that because I just loved it. And I
Love
feel
it.
like it's just, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's such a nicer way to look at it than being like, and I think too,
Too.
the duality of like, allowing things to coexist, like allowing you to still love
Yes.
Chumpy so deeply while also loving Brock and what he's bringing to your
Yeah.
life so deeply. And it's like, that's all allowed to coexist.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're the only one that can dictate if it can or can't.
And I think it takes someone's got to be so sure of themselves and confident in themselves. And like, you know, it'd be hard for the guy. Like
Oh,
I feel for Brock and like, but from the get go, he's actually like, he's super like, yeah, he's really strong willed and
mm.
sure of himself, but then can be like a big teddy bear. He can be really emotional. He's lost his mum. He knows grief. We can talk about that stuff. And so he knows if I'm a bit like having a funny moment or something, he is so not like threatened, obviously, by, like
Yes.
he admires Chump and will talk about him and
So nice.
like, I don't know. I've just heard horror stories about how friends that were in a similar situation to me, their partners like were almost jealous of
The
the guy
love that
that
they
had
have. It's
passed
like,
away and stuff. And like, yeah, and that because that honestly would be really hard for a guy to come in and like kind of
but I
be
think it's
that
a
next
certain type of
person's.
man too. Like,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
obviously,
I wouldn't.
credit to the person that Brock is and what he's, maybe gone through with grief and that's allowed
Yeah.
him to have that openness.
Yeah. Like when I'm not there and he's taking Minnie somewhere, maybe to go have dinner with his family or something, and there was like a person playing an acoustic guitar. And Minnie's like, Broccoli, my daddy plays this as well because he used to play the guitar. And Brock's like, yeah, he did. Let's listen to his songs when we go home in the car. And so, like, in the car home, they're listening to Chumpy's music and stuff. Like, I think a lot of guys would be like, maybe not, like,
Yeah,
I don't
as open
know.
to it or just like brush it
Yeah.
off a bit. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
But
that.
he's just, it's like, and that is so important to me because if I felt like Chump was this elephant in the room or, oh, it would just be,
But I guess because you've never made him the elephant in the room,
no.
like everyone knows you and Chump,
Yeah.
like as,
Yeah.
what you were and your love story and what happened. So it's like, I don't feel like anyone could have come in, maybe they could have tried, but they wouldn't have got far coming into your life and acting
Yeah.
like he's the elephant in the room because you've just never allowed that.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't have
Mm,
got that far.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the boss side, the girl boss side of Ellidy, though, Pullen, because girl, you are doing so much at the moment. You've got your beautiful brand, Future Fur,
Yes,
your
it's
collabs
so
with
good.
Anapali, so much happening.
Yes.
Let's talk about all that side. Have you always been like entrepreneurial or
Oh
have
my
you had
gosh,
that spirit in you?
no, 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 I definitely haven't. Like yeah, wow, I am so not good behind the scenes. Like, don't talk to me about spreadsheets or admin, emails, can't do any of that stuff. I'm so bad at it. That's very, very much where Chloe belongs.
Okay.
But no, I'm so lucky and fortunate that like have amazing people behind brands like Anapelli and Future Further Blankets. Danny and Wilco are their names, and like they just back me, and they're always like setting up new ventures, and they're like, "You're our girl. Can you come in on this with us?" Like they do a lot of the heavy lifting. I do a lot of the front facing, some of the
Awesome.
creative stuff, and like it just goes so well, and we work together well because like I know where I stand, and I don't try and fuck around in their area, and they know that. They don't make me feel shit because they're like, "Oh, you're not doing any of this heavy lifting." Like, they are aware that I'm not fucking capable and I'm not doing that stuff, and it's a blessing that I'm not because it would go to shit. So, yeah, I just have, like I feel like I've been really lucky with some of the connections I've been able to make and then start these, like, ventures that,
Mm.
yeah, people are really liking them. Like, when you start a brand or you start selling a product or something and the feedback people give you, it's just so rewarding and you're like, "Wow, I can't believe I thought it was cool," but when other people do think it's cool too, it's like, yeah.
Definitely. So
So
how did Future Fur like come to be born? Where was the idea?
so they're the owners of Annapelli, and so we did Future Fur together, and these are beautiful blankets, all made of plastic bottles. So it's
Amazing.
sustainable. We're recycling plastic bottles, but they feel so soft. Like it's insane. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
there's beautiful colors, beautiful sizes. And we live on the Gold Coast. It's bloody hot up here in summer, but I am still like I got dogs and babies all over my house at all times. I'm one of those people that just has blankets and rags like fucking everywhere. And they just go in the wash and
So you can
they're
just wash them
so,
as well, throw them in the
yeah.
wash. That's
I
amazing.
could
That's
get you
so
one.
good.
I
Oh,
love
I
how
love
interesting you are in the
that.
blankets. I feel really bad. I didn't
Did
bloody.
I see that there's a nappy, like a changed? Is that
My
a
friends
custom
use
one or do
that.
they use them?
It's just a really small blanket size, but it's just for a dog, like a little dog bed thing.
Oh my God,
But all my friends use them as nappy change
that
tables.
was so cool. I saw that in your stories the other day and I'm like, that is genius because
It
when you go, like
is
when
in
you
the back of the
buy
car.
change mats, like I know for both the kids I had them because I'm like,
Have you not?
especially on the Gold Coast, like you're outdoors, you're like on the go
Yeah.
all the time. And changing your babies. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's in the back of the boot, sometimes it's on the beach, sometimes it's at a cafe. And I saw that size as the change mat and I was like,
So good.
that is genius and way better than having them on some like
Weird plastic
weird,
fucking
like,
cardboard
yeah,
thing.
like whatever they are
Yeah,
that they
and then
sell
whack
at
it
Baby
straight in the
Bunting.
wash. It's so small. It's so
Amazing.
comfy. Like, yeah,
I
it's
love that.
that wasn't what was
No, but
that wasn't what it was meant for, but all my friends have just taken it on
I
as
love
their
it.
baby change table, and now it's just our favorite, like, baby shower gift.
So
It's
good.
so good.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
I'm so proud
I
of that
love it.
one.
That's so good. And your collab with Annapelli, you did 2 ranges.
Yeah,
So
we've got
fun.
a few collections with Ina Pelli. They're just so easy and fun to work with. I work a lot with Cocabella, which is
Yes.
epic, and CoverGirl, which are like just that was a really cool one too, because I'm so not typically a makeup girl. Like I'm so your girl next door, just don't know what I'm doing when it comes to makeup, just throw it on and walk out the door. Like I'm not a princess. And for them to want to work with me was, I mean, yeah, it was pretty cool for me. Like I was so taken aback, but they were like, no, we want like, you know, we want like a rogue, chick that hasn't got her shit together and looks like, just normal and relatable and like you look like every other like girl. You're not a glamazon, and that's what
I love
that's
it.
what I guess it is. Like
Yeah.
like affordable, easy access, clean makeup
Mhm.
that like is cheaper. You don't have to be a pro to use it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I know I've found like really amazing brands, big and small, that are like working with me consistently for years
Mm.
now. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. It's set me up to be able to look after our little girl,
Mhm.
buy us a house, like things like that. I'm just so, and I just know Chump's done this all for me. I just know he's
Amazing.
guided me and
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm
And that's that
just,
inner knowing for you, isn't it? You just know that he's opening those doors. And
yeah.
it's also just such a testament, though, to the person you are and the way that you show up in the world and what you've built too. So
Thank you.
take some of your credit because you deserve it. And I just love also the way you are so generous with the way you share. Like, I know Minnie's always decked out in the coolest clothes. And one of my girlfriends actually owns Storm
Oh,
0.5, which
really?
my kids live in. And I know Taryn's, like Minnie wears a lot of Taryn's clothes, Storm.
We just
Yeah.
got the Tantrums and Techno t-shirts
Oh,
from Storm, and they're so cute. And she sent me Andy's size, Bobby's size, and
oh
Minnie's
my
size. And I was
goodness.
like, oh, I need a photo of all 3 of them matching. But
But
now
it's
they're
like,
about to go
it's
away.
so kind that you, like, just the way that you show up for other people, building brands and building
Oh,
businesses as well. I just know what it means to people to have that
so
level
do
of
I.
visibility on, yours and Chloe's channels. It's amazing that you do that.
Yeah, like some small businesses will be like, wow, I can't believe you shared that. And thank you so much. You've just given us our month's worth of revenue. People are following us now. People have bought so much, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know you can't actually share everything. You
No,
can't.
totally.
And
Yeah.
if someone sends you a t-shirt or a hat or some shit that you didn't ask for, you didn't exactly consent, and
Mm.
they've just gotten in your hands somehow, and then they start harassing you and going, please post this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that is really annoying. But when a brand asks you, do you like this? Would
Mhm.
your kid wear it? But no strings attached. I'll send it to you if so. And I go, yeah, thank you. That looks epic. Of course, if we're wearing it, I'm going to post. I'm like, of course. And I know that will change their day. And it is amazing when they tell you how much it means and you're like, wow, like I can't believe I do have that effect. But also I'm so, so happy to be helping these brands.
Mhm.
Like
I
it's
think it's beautiful that you do it and you honor it because I guess it
mm,
almost goes back to like what we were talking about earlier when, social media can change some people
mhm.
and people can look at that as a like, well, this is something that I've built and I'm only sharing it if it comes
Yes.
with,
But you're getting
paid or whatever,
paid.
whatever the
Yeah.
thing is, and can be quite protective over that. But exactly like you said, you sharing, like Minnie's wearing it, she loves it. I see her in
Yeah.
Storm all the time, and I get excited because I'm like, oh, I love that she's wearing that.
So good.
And I just think that that's awesome though, because the impact then, that flow-on impact that it
Yeah.
has for other startup businesses that are
I know.
investing lots. Like it takes so much
Yes.
courage, so much money, so much confidence, everything to actually back yourself to build a brand and then to put it out to the world.
Oh,
So,
so
yeah,
scary.
I just
So
think it's
risky.
beautiful that you and like Chloe honor that so beautifully
Yeah, we
and share
love
that with your
helping the
community.
small
Yeah,
brands.
so nice. Um, I want to ask you, is there anything before we wrap up that like you think that people might think about you, but is the total opposite? Is there anything that comes to mind? Like, what's the right word that I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah, like
perception,
assumptions.
assumptions that people
Um,
might have. or something that people might not assume at all?
I did do this thing on my podcast where I did write like, "Hey guys, give me all these assumptions about me
Oh,
and I'll
yes.
debunk them." And there was actually some funny ones. But most people are on the money. So
Okay.
that obviously means I'm pretty real.
Yeah.
Like, on my socials. Like, I don't know. I don't think people would think this at all, but they might think, "Oh, I've really got all my shit together and stuff." Like, I mean, I actually don't think that. Obviously that's not, but I definitely don't. And that's the thing, like, you don't have to either.
Mm. Yeah.
Enjoy the process. You don't have to have it all figured out. Um, well, what are some assumptions that you would have thought of me before you met
Oh,
me?
I know. I was actually thinking that driving in because I was like, I don't know, because it's hard. I feel like I've followed you for follow sounds so weird, doesn't it? But like, I actually don't follow many people online and I don't really watch stories, but I do watch your stories. And so I've had this moment because we live like in literally like
Yeah.
basically the same area. I was like, oh, what happens if I see her and then I'm like, hey, I know so much about you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
who I am.
So funny.
So I'm glad we've been able to meet in person before I just
Yes.
run into you in the
Oh
coffee
my
shop.
gosh.
But no, I don't know what assumption I would have had. I
What
thought you
you
were going to be
see is what
taller. When you
That's
walked in,
right.
I was like, I expected you to be, you are tall, but I
Yeah.
expected you, I had this moment where I was like, I think I need to wear high heels today because I'm a real shorty.
You thought I was gonna be a full giant.
One thing I would love to ask about then, from not from an assumption, but like your style and fashion. I love that I feel like you just like rock what you want in
Mm.
every moment without having like a distinct style. Has that
Yeah.
been a natural evolution of self
Yeah, my
or
mum's always been like a fashionista.
okay.
She's always really put together, really tailored. I am just like, I just have to feel good and be comfy and like, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm all black all the time or really colorful. Like
Mm.
I'm pretty kind of confident. Like I can like I'll just like I don't really care what anyone thinks.
Yeah,
But I'm some not like I wish I was way more quirky and a bit more crazy with what I wear.
you
Like
do?
I wish I
Yeah.
was a bit more hectic. But no, I'm just like I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I do get to come across some really cool brands
Mm.
and yeah, small brands or just brands that like, not everyone's got their hands on and I
Mhm.
get them and I'm like, yeah, I'm rocking this.
Yes.
And like, I love just like, my favorite is just when you're looking a bit like loose and grungy and like,
Yeah,
just like
okay.
this, kind of
I love
this.
it. Well, speaking of small business, tell us about your jacket because
Oh, my jacket is from my beautiful friends in Sydney by Sid. They, started like apparel. So epic jeans, great fitting jeans. Faux leather jackets and suede and like
awesome.
really nice stuff.
It's epic. It looks so cool.
Thank you,
I'm surprised you're
girlfriend.
not like sweating though although it's a bit
I'm
chilly today.
always cold.
Oh, are
That's
you?
one
You're
thing about
cold?
me. Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
always freezing.
I love I've actually been thinking, I'm like, I feel like I need to start a new little segment on the podcast of sharing what you're wearing because I feel like that's such a part
Outfit
of
of the
being
day.
yeah, but it's such a part of being magnetic as well. I really feel like to shift like when you're shifting your external, the fastest way to shift the external is
Fully.
the way you dress.
Well, let's
And I
go
was like,
through it. What are you wearing? Because I love those
well,
shoes.
I'm wearing pony hair little slides from Elias May. They're
Duh.
so fun. I actually got them in green and then they were too big. So I'm glad I got them in cream.
Those are sick.
And then I've got a little set on from Jasmine Alexa, so little shorts and jacket. She's a Melbourne designer,
It looks
a
really
small
soft.
brand, and a little Verge girl.
Love.
Top,
Obsessed.
yeah. And your jeans are from?
These are from,
They're fun. I like the waistband of
far
them.
out, what are these from? These are from Subi.
Oh,
Subi
nice.
jeans. They do long girl jeans. That's the thing about Ina Pelly and Subi always have long enough pants for the tall girls.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I need the opposite. I need the short girl jeans, or else I'm rolling halfway.
Oh, I can't believe you
Uh,
thought I was going to be like this proper basketball player tall.
I thought you'd just be a fraction taller than you were, but I'm glad. I was like, oh, you're not that tall.
Oh my God,
It's
you're
always
funny.
fun. But I think that's also just meeting people in person so much.
Yes.
From knowing them online, I always feel like height is a thing that throws you about people. Like you don't
I
expect them to be
know.
that tall or that short.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. But Ellidy, thank you so much. I could literally talk to you forever. Yeah, I
Seriously.
really appreciate your time. I know I've like harassed your team to get
No,
you
I am
here.
so stoked that we finally made it work. Thank you so much, Maddie.
Thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything you want to share? Like where can people shop Future Fur? And yeah, get
You are
everything Ellidy.
so good. Okay, futurefur.com.
Amazing.
I think that's the one. Should I double check that?
Done.
Nah, thank you so much for
And
having me.
try the new strawberry matcha too. We had that
Oh.
before. Ellidy gave us a little taste test of Cocoa Bella before.
So
That
good.
was so good. I'm
Yeah,
so
you're
glad
like
you like shared the germs around like the bottle. I was
yeah.
like, have a sip, have a sip. I'm like, I'll never say no to strawberry matcha.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, it's
like, all your
delicious.
ads and stuff you do with brands is so relatable and normal online, and I'm like, nothing over here is curated. Like, trust me, I'm walking into this studio going, "Oh, try the Coca Bella, it's really good," and then I'm making you guys try it on the spot. And do you know what? Coca Bella will love that because it's authentic. I'm genuinely out and about drinking it.
Yeah.
I'm not just at home with a tripod pretending I'm fucking drinking it, and I'm not.
But that's what I love too. I get halfway through your content, I'm like, "Oh, this is an ad."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, "What's she doing? What's she" And then I'm like, "Oh, hang on, this is an ad. Oh, yeah, that's savvy, girl. Well done." It's like your friends on a boat drinking Coca Bella. Like, I'm like, "This
So
is such a
good.
vibe." It's so cool.
Oh.
Were you always just like, "That's just how I do it. That's how I'm rolling if I'm working with
Yes,
brands?"
and funnily enough, like, yeah, I always filmed everything when Chumpy was alive. That's why I had so many good
Ah.
clips of him, and people would be like, even, like, a year or 2 ago, "Put your phone down," and I'm like, "No, I actually am one for memories."
Yeah. Pays off.
He actually
Yeah.
it pays off because
Yeah.
he died, and thank God I do have all these beautiful
Mm.
videos of him and stuff. And, like, I'm not sitting there on my phone. If I'm out and about, like, at a party or at a concert, I'm actually I am enjoying myself, but I might get a quick clip, but it's going up then and there on Instagram. I'm not saving it to look at it tomorrow and curate my feed and da da da. It's just bang up.
Love it. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, no, it comes across so well. I love it. So thank you so much for all your time.
It was so
And
good to finally
it
meet you,
was
Maddie,
so
and
good to
thank you
meet you
so
too.
much for having me.
I appreciate it.